So you're here because you want to know how to draw. That's what I'm here to teach you, right? Yeah, hi, it's me, Heather, on my VR chat, starting out this tutorial, very weirdly and very strong, because I am, just, you know, very extra, and I figured it'd be really cool to start out a tutorial being extra as fuck. This is my Remy plush. So, I'm getting distracted by the world and wonders of VR. Keep in mind, you don't have to have college to be an artist. It does not matter. You do not have to be professional. Anyone can start somewhere. I'm gonna pull something on the screen right now. Just give me 1 minute. So this is an art piece I did when I was little. This was done back when I was in elementary school, for those who don't know. This was my stick figure drawing of Ami and Yumi from Hi Hi Puffy Ami Yumi, an old cartoon show that I used to stay up late watching. It is one of my favorite shows when I was a kid. Did I draw fandoms? No, I had no idea what fandoms were back then. Yeah, you don't have to have any experience to learn, and hopefully this tutorial kind of gives you guys some kind of experience, because I don't know, this is a goofy way to start out a video. It went from VR chat to I'll switch to my VTuber and I'll explain. Don't go crazy, and just, you know, practice makes perfect. I've been drawing every day since I was little, so because of that, and because of me never giving up on what I love doing, I never gave up on what I love doing, and I improved. But that's that's besides the point. My bird is literally squeaking out. So, let's just transition into it, and behold that chair over there. This is definitely a downgrade from the VR chat Taziri to my VTuber model. I figured, hey, why not? I plan to make some new VTuber models in the future, specifically that aren't Taziri, since I'm not talking as Taziri in this. But hi, it's me again, Heather. So I'm going to be using Clip Studio Paint for whatever I use to draw. You can use any program you want, it does not matter. Just because someone has skill at art does not mean their art program plays a part in it. It can play some part in it, however, I used Clip Studio Paint for only a few years now, and at first I used Microsoft Paint as my first digital program. It was so bad. But as a beginner, I still do not recommend Microsoft Paint, even if you want to begin art. The ones I recommend for free are Fire Alpaca, Metabang Paint. I really butchered that. Clip Studio Paint does have a free trial if you would like to try Clip Studio Paint for a little bit, but keep in mind it's a monthly subscription. You also have GIMP. That's GIMP with a G, not IMP. And there's also Sketchbook, which is a really good program, especially if you're on an Android tablet or an iPad. Those are some really good things to start out with. When I got out of my Microsoft Paint phase, I went on to Paint Tool Sci. I don't recommend Paint Tool Sci. I mean, you can if you want. A lot of my friends still use it, but honestly, Clip Studio Paint has Paint Tool Sci beat because there's no store assets. You can download brushes, but I don't know, I'm biased now. So anyway, those are my recommendations for art programs. You're not here for that right now. You're here for learning how to do tutorials on how to draw. I'm very sorry if my English is bad. I'm not very good at explaining, but I'm doing my best. Alright, so first things first, when you're in your drawing program, you want to go to File, New. You won't be able to see it on my end, but there's a window that'll pop up that'll just tell you what kind of project you want. You always want your project resolution to be 300 or more, preferably 300. I wish I could show this off. I'm gonna fix it. Hold on, I'll fix it.
There, now you guys can see what I'm seeing. I use my presets like this. I have width 3000, height 2000. That's probably a lot, but I like doing my arts in portrait mode. And resolution is 300. This is your paper color. Never use white, and I'll show you why. This is very blinding for the eyes. Do not ever use white. Anytime people come to my live streams on my main channel, Feather Sketch Creations, they will always see my canvas colors being, these are all my presets here, that just disappeared. Oh my gosh. Alright, so, sorry about that. Never have your color page white because it's very blinding, and as an artist, when you draw all day and you're looking at a white canvas, it is never good to look at a damn white canvas. It is not good for the eyes. So I just kind of use a dark blue color. You can use whatever color you see fit. You could use this one. But again, if you're like doing a more vent art piece, this would be cool. Or like something that has like dark or nighttime. So I'll stick with my my usual canvas right here. Okay, so let's just say you want to draw your favorite character in whatever show you're into. In this case, I'm a helluva-boss artist, and I also have my show Elementals of Security I'm making. We're gonna decline and not talk about much of that right now, and we're gonna do the basics for people who are just starting out. And this can be applied to anything and any character, but I want you guys to know the basics first that I learned how to do. Now, I'm gonna pull something up on my screen, and I know this is gonna be crazy because I'm jumping into probably boring things that you guys are probably gonna get bored of, but I'll try to explain this and then we'll get to the fun stuff. It is very important to do, so give me a moment. I'm gonna open these. Alright, I opened them. You can see these are just a clutter of shapes. Why did I bring up shapes on my screen? Well, these are very important assets to be using, and I was dumb when I was little. I was trying to learn how to draw, and I didn't use these in my art because I thought it was stupid. So, it's not. It's actually something that has helped me throughout these last couple of years that I am so thankful for. So again, why am I bringing up shapes onto my screen? Every character you see on your TV show is made up of shapes. It doesn't matter what they look like. Each character has their own unique body shape, and they're all just broken down into a majority of shapes. Let's say we got a circle here. This is I'm using my pen brush. So this is a circle. Sometimes you'll see characters that have circles for heads. The shoulders, the elbows of a character, those are all made up of like joints for circles. We also have triangles. Some characters kind of have like triangle feet. Like if you think of Gur from Invader Zim, his feet are literally this shape. We have a little square here. Now what could be used with a square? Robots. You could draw robots with squares. I'll go down more into it, so this is me just going over like the shapes and stuff. This is a very shitty example though. I'll try to go over in red. Cylinders are really good for building up like bodies and waists. They're very unique and very good to be using. Squares too actually can be used as a waist for when you're like breaking down characters into sketches and anatomy and working on that. So yeah, those are really important. I'm gonna open up some examples actually. So let me grab a ref sheet of a character we may all know and love or hate, depending on what your tastes are. All right, so I pulled up Steven Universe. Some people have this show leave a bad taste in their mouth because of the toxic fandom, but that's any fandom you get into that's toxic. So I'm gonna show you the shapes and I'm gonna break them down on Steven. So what kind of shapes do we see here on Steven? Well, we have for his head, let me pull up actually a little bit of a red color here. A bit darker. So we have you know what? It's probably better to do blue. My bad, guys. Alright, so we have kind of an oval shape for his head here, like the lower half. And we have a bit of a half circle here for his top of his head, and this is kind of the typical Cal Art style, as it's kind of been dubbed. You see this in a lot of cartoons and video games and anything media. Sans from Undertale has the same face shape. Star versus the Forces of Evil, Star Butterfly, Marco Diaz from that show, they have the same face shape. It's kind of like a very common style you see in cartoon media, I've noticed. So here we have his head breakdown. His ears kind of like a little circle. His arms or shoulders can be broken down into a circle as well. You got cylinders here. Can't really tell probably because I'm drawing over it, and we got also a circle here. Another cylinder that comes out to where his wrist is. And then the fingers, because we all know, as an artist, hands are so hard to draw. But we could do like a circle here or like an oval. Kinda do like little long cylinders. I'll show you guys really cool tips and tricks on how to draw hands, because I did learn how to do some really interesting tips and tricks. So as you can kind of see, it's just a matter of shapes. Let's see, his body here is kind of like a big oval, just like that. Same thing here, cylinders. You just follow the shapes like that. And no, I'm not telling people to trace art. This is just me showing off what this character is made of shape-wise. Do not trace art unless it's for practice. I will go over in a separate video on when and how tracing can be good or bad, because tracing is kind of controversy. While yes, it's okay to trace when you are using it for practice, just do not post trace things, because this can lead to very bad things. I don't want to go over that right now. I just wanted to just give a little disclaimer. Do not trace art. This is just how I'm showing you how to break down a character and what the character's shapes are made of. Okay, I'm gonna open up another character here. Just give me one moment. Okay, I've got Jasper here from Steven Universe. You know, our big buff Tito Puff that we all know and love. Jasper from Steven Universe. Where are you, my diamond? So that's my show off at a Jasper impression. So with her, I'm actually gonna go ahead and do the showing off shapes better here. With her face, you can definitely see, because I'm using Steven Universe characters, because there are a lot of different shapes that they've used to make these characters. They're polymorphic sentient space rocks. Wow, I butchered that really badly. Alright, so with Jasper here, her face, you can already tell, like, she has a square or like a rectangular style face. And then you would use this as like for the eye placement and whatnot. Her neck is just a cylinder. She has, and I'm doing this on a different layer now so that way I can show you guys, like, once it's done, on how the hell that looks after I'm done breaking it down. With Jasper's body here, you have another square, kinda. And then you have a circle here for, like, where the shoulders are. Cylinders. Another cylinder. I'll probably speed this up while I show this off, alright? And then you can just kind of make an upside down triangle for where the legs meet. And for the legs. It's the same thing. Just kind of have like a cylinder. We're not going to worry about the hair. This is just the basic body shape. So let me get rid of that. You can kind of see what that looks like. Every single character that you see in media is literally broken down in shapes, just like this. I also can bring up one or two more examples. I cannot believe I get to teach this kind of thing. This show, Invader Zim, was my first fandom I ever got into back when I was Invader Dot. on Flipnote Hatena before I got good at drawing and animating. So Zim and Dot, or Zim and Gur, excuse me, were like the ultimate thing in my childhood. This was a show that dated back to like 2001 and 2002. I don't think these are actually like show references that I can just comfortably trace over as an example, but I bring these two up because of the style of their heads. I'm not really gonna, like I said, I'm gonna pull up something else because I don't feel comfortable tracing over this to show an example because it is not my art. What I can do is, let's see here, I shall try to pull up another art piece of him. This is from the intro of the show back then. So you can kind of see right now where I'm going with this, because the style of Helluva-Boss versus the style of Invader Zim is the exact same style. Moxie, for example, is a fine example of how the style is kind of the same. You can actually credit Ricardo, I hope I'm not butchering your name, but Ricardo Ricard for this amazing Moxie turnaround that they made for the fandom of Helluva-Boss. This is not like official or anything, but it's still really good to be using. So this is a really fine example. And then we have Zim from Invader Zim, 2018 to 2000, from back when the show first aired, to like when they brought it back as a movie for Enter the Florpus. Same style here. This was the pilot, I believe. But yes, when you put these two together, you can kind of see Vivzy Pop was influenced by Invader Zim to create Helluva-Boss, because it's the same style, similar, I should say, kind of similar style to like when it comes to head shapes, which I thought was really cool, because when I first saw this, I was like, hey, that style's crazy. And then I heard Moxie speak in the Helluva-Boss pilot, and I was like, whoa, they got Zim's voice actor, Richard Horvitz. So I thought that was amazing. Here's the 3/4 turn here. So back to Invader Zim, the tallest. This is actually really insane, because one of my team members on my indie show pointed out that that Blitz's head shape is the tallest from fucking why am I saying the wrong things? From Invader Zim. It's right there in my face. Wow. I looked at this and I'm like, wow, I'm so dumb. This was my first fandom and I had no idea that Blitz, my favorite character, it has the same head shape as Zim's leaders, the tallest. Gee, Vivs sure did have inspiration to make Helluva-Boss very Invader Zim-like. Oh. Well, I found this tweet. It's all starting to make sense. Well, time to explain my now 3 things I have opened of four things I have opened of several Blitz collages and why I have them. This is gonna be so embarrassing. Alright, so I have several collages of Blitz that I have put together specifically to study him, because he is my favorite character. If that wasn't obvious, I draw him often, and he brings me joy.
You know, you're supposed to keep things that bring you joy.
So now I'm going to do this same shape breakdown on Blitzy, because I fucking love him. And, you know, we're here for Helluva-Boss, kind of, and I know a lot of you that follow me are here for Helluva-Boss tutorials, but these can, again, be applied to any fandom you're into, doesn't matter what. So these screenshots are from the episode where Barbie debuts, and I'm gonna just go ahead and start off. Personally, I break down his head with a circle, or like an oval shape, and then I kind of like bring it back like that, and then I Yes, you can break down the horns however you want. Some people do it segmented. I don't. It's kind of like a J shape, so follow the J, like this. And you just like kind of, it connects to the back of his head. You can kind of see like the entirety of his horns kind of connect to the back of his head there. It's a really weird style, but go off. We don't make fun of this googly boy's head. We love him. We love him and his traumatic trauma. So that's that. Then we have like a connection where we connect it like that. The chin area. I'm not very good at explaining these things. Same thing here. I'm trying to explain this without telling you guys to trace, because tracing is bad. Do not trace. I feel bad showing it like this, but how else am I gonna like explain stuff like this? So I've seen people on Vivzi's team use in their storyboards, they kind of draw his collar like this first, like an upside down triangle. And then, of course, a circle for his collar. That's pretty straightforward. It's literally just a circle. That's like head. His shoulder pad things are triangles. I use circles, though. I kind of just do circles when I draw him. So his hands are really chunky. So they kind of go down like this. And you want to... It's like a teardrop shape. Like that. Just like that. Bird, what are you doing? Let's see here. So this is just breakdown. I have no idea. He's in a weird position right now, and I don't want to pull up the ref sheets I have because I'm not supposed to have them up. I bought them off Viv's Patreon. So these are his fingers. I guess they're like triangles. I don't know how to describe these. I still struggle with his hands and stuff. Same thing here. His legs are cylinders. You know, the basic rundown. Kind of cylinder and yeah. Let's see here. Cylinder for the heel here. Triangles for this part of the boot. And then tails are kind of straightforward. You can go crazy with them. I kind of just do the basic rundown of shapes. It's just a triangle with like a squiggly line. And then you kind of build off of that. Wow, this looks like ass. I am so sorry. So when I get rid of that, yeah, I forgot his hand. I figured. So, again, that's kind of the basic rundown. I'm not going to go through all of these. You're here to learn, not trace. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how to use these shapes to build character. Let's open up a canvas. I'm going to use my usual canvas. You can use whatever size canvas you want. Just, I do heavily recommend your paper color not be white. Anything but a bright color. I worry for your eyes. Do not do white. Okay, so here we have your canvas. It's blank, and you're like, oh, wow, howdy do? How am I going to get a piece of art from my brain to the canvas? Oh boy, I can draw, I can do squigglies, I can do whatever, but I can't draw something that I'd like to draw because I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I'll show you my process and how the hell I draw Blitz, because I use what I showed you guys while tracing the outlines of how they break down basic shapes, and this is how it go. So, first and foremost thing you are going to need, if you are drawing a canon character from a show, in this case I'm going to show you how the hell I draw Blitz, you're going to need references, and that's why I have these saved. I usually use my Blitz turn sheet that I got from Vivzi Pop's Patreon, but for this example I'm not going to use that because that would be me leaking things from assets that should not be leaked because that is illegal. So we're just going to use my collage here for an example. So his head shape. I actually want to go ahead and start out thinking of what exactly I want him to do. I completely forgot to do it yesterday, but yesterday was Brandon Rogers' birthday, and I kind of wanted to make, like, Blitz having a birthday cake, so I might just do a little doodle for this example. So you can use whatever color, but I got my color wheel over here. I like to use black for my, my sketches. So we're gonna go ahead, and I'm gonna start with his head shape, which I always start with the head because I feel like I can never draw anything else until I've got the head down. I'll go over how I do my expressions as well. So like I said, I start out with a oval or a circle for his head. Kind of like that. I'm using a drawing tablet. I'll put that up on the screen on what version I use. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn off my VTuber model of Taziri because it may get in the way and distract people. So here's his head shape here, or not head shape, but I got a circle down. Sure, anyone can draw a circle, that's fine. And then I go down and I kind of look at the references as I go. You can see his head shape is, I usually do the top of the head as a circle. So we're going to draw him facing a cake or something, or holding it up. I'm going to use an eraser. My pen that I use kind of counts as an eraser if I flip it over. Let's see, and I'm using the pencil brush for my sketches, and I use a completely different brush, as you can kind of see the example here. So we're gonna just do the basic shape of his head. It's kind of like this. And then where his neck comes out, it's kind of like a rubber hose. So it goes like that, and then it kind of bends like that. And then the collar. Doesn't have to be perfect. This is just a sketch. I'm actually going to move him a bit here. Let's see. You know, I might try to actually redraw this pose so people can see the step-by-step that he's in. This isn't gonna be my best work though. You just kind of look at what you're doing in the little reference view, and then you can kind of get it going. Sometimes like I said, I see his horns as like a J shape, like an upside down. You can kind of see, like, hold on, I got this. So it's a J shape. So I'm gonna actually flip the canvas, because this actually helps a lot if you're flipping the canvas. I'm not even kidding you. Use these. And then again, like I said, the back of the horns kind of come out like that from the back of the neck. It's really weird. And we'll do that. And then this is kind of a not too pointed, not too so not too pointed like that, but also not too curved. It's kind of a, we'll erase everything as we go. So, and then again, you want the other side too. So I'm actually gonna change his height here because it's a full body art piece of him. Apply transformation. It's a full body art of him. Gonna erase that in here. You can kind of see with his horns, depending on how his head turns and stuff, his horns kind of, sometimes they overlap, sometimes they don't. I don't know how the heck I'm gonna do this. Hold on. This is all about trial and error to see how you can get it looking. I'm just like eyeballing this. I'm not tracing. I'm not... It's fun to do this. Like, pick a character you like, and then find a screenshot in the show, and instead of tracing it, you could, like, just look at it and just practice by just drawing the character in the same pose that you see them in. This is what helped me, and this is probably a better idea too, to just show you this rather than just drawing a random art piece that you guys probably will not be able to do. So he has like 1, 2, 3, 4, he has 1, 2, 3, Yep, he has 4 lines there, each with like different color like that. Oops. Like that, but we're not gonna worry about coloring right now. His spines on his head. I'll color those in though, because those are completely black. That's that. When I do eye examples, so right here, this is what I do. People see me on my streams do this a lot, where I kind of like draw these lines. And normally in the industry, what these are for is they are actually for like showing where the head is facing. So like if you got your head facing this way, and there's only like one eye view, or like, you know, visible, and then you have like a character, if they're facing like, say they're facing this way, but they're like facing towards you, so you don't see their other eye, but you can kind of see they're almost in a halfway turn. So I'm just gonna do a little example. Here's some hair. I don't know. So these are called ref sheets, or turn sheets, and depending on how the character's turned, they'll have these lines. But I don't like using them for like showing which way the character's turning. I technically like to use them to place the eyes, because it has helped me. It's very helpful, and I noticed on some of the VivziePop animatics, they use this line right here to do his lust ring mark here. I don't care what anyone says. This is the literal demonic symbol of lust. I swear to God, Blitz is both great in lust ring and using my eraser here to kind of eyeball where these go. I'm never good at drawing his mark on his forehead though, and I do know it has like a nose. There we go. So that's what that looks like. It's just a heart shape, and then I kind of erase out the parts that are, you know, not there. For his eyes, you can see he has like a smug look on his face, so I kind of start out like this. So I draw the eyes and where they go. His eye shape initially is like an almond shape. Let's see if I have an example here. Kind of see with the eyes. You know, expressions are always fun. So yeah, I know I'm supposed to be drawing this shape. So what I do is I always start out with like their initial eye shape of what the character's eyes are supposed to look like, and then I kind of build from that. So this would be erased later. So with these. And then his eyebrow. Marks on his eyes here. Then we have same thing, and then I erase these. I know this looks really messy. This is again supposed to be just the sketch. And then the mouth is something I've noticed I've always had trouble with, but can kind of see. Comes down like that, and then you erase all the parts that aren't supposed to be there. Again, this isn't supposed to be perfect. This is just your sketch. This isn't going to be what the final looks like unless you want it to be what it looks like, but I don't think you'd want this to look like this because this is very messy. Then you kind of get the teeth shape in. This isn't my best work. I've drawn Blitz a lot better looking than this before. I'm just trying to show an example, and I'm also going through art block right now, so that can kind of affect an artist. Let's see here. So, yeah. I'm gonna erase that line, and I'm gonna fix that. Like I said, it could look better. And then you can use a blue color or whatever color you want to kind of like show off where his scar is gonna be. Kind of like that. That black color. This kind of shows off, like, again, that's what that looks like. You see. Very messy, kind of straightforward. If we want to put him in that same pose, I'll show you, I guess, a little bit on how I break down poses. Usually I use a lot more layers. You're gonna learn this as a new artist. Always use layers. You should probably name your layers too if you want to like find them, but I don't name my layers, so it can get a little messy. I'm gonna actually go underneath this layer and I'm gonna start with how I draw his outfit. So I use a lot of I use two different techniques. I do sketching, like a base sketch of what I want the pose to look like, and then I go over that sketch with the finalized pose with all the details. So the base sketch, let me show you the base sketch of like the anatomy. This is how I do it. So he's in a pose like that. It's kind of, so it's like a cylinder shape here. His arm's kind of like a teardrop shape here. Another cylinder. I'm gonna work on the hands in a little bit. Just get the basic pose down. Don't worry about any outfits right now. His legs are a bit different. Here is... Oh, it is raining out. That's fine. Cylinder. And we're gonna connect the boot like that because the back of his boot kind of, if you look closely, the back of his heel there connects to where his boot kind of goes off into the triangle shape. Like I said, I'm not gonna worry about too many details on his clothes. I'm just gonna focus on his legs and his, just his pose he has here. It can be very sketchy. Like me, feather sketch. I'm a sketchy goober. You could actually come down like that and then do it like that. Always make sure that these two, the feet are both on like the same ground level. That's always a good thing to keep in mind. And then the other hand here is kind of coming out. That. And he has his hand over his other hand here. Eyeball it. So don't just place the hand placement over the character's other hand. Make room for the fingers and the wrist. So I'm actually gonna shrink that a bit because you can see his fingers are like mostly the only thing that are on his hand. As a beginner artist, you'll learn that hands and feet and drawing those suck. It is so hard to be an artist when it comes to those things. And that's the funny part too. People who hate AI and artists who hate AI, it's so funny because I know they're out there to steal people's fucking jobs. Even AI can't draw hands right. It's so fucking funny. So that's the basic pose for what the pose he's in is. And then what you'll want to do is you can change the opacity down of that last sketch, and then you can go over it on the original sketch layer or like a newer layer to like get the details of the character down. So in this case, a better version of his collar, which apparently I did on the wrong layer. Keep your layers clean. I'm gonna do that differently here. Like I said, it kind of has like a upside down, kind of like a half rectangle shape. Bird. And it kind of fans out into that, whatever that is. he has like lines going down. He has the collar on him. This collar being the collar he got from his mom that he killed. Whoopsie doopsie. The eyes on the collar are just circles. Then we have his... I noticed that the part of his outfit is kind of like comes down from his collar a bit. Kind of... never draw it like this. Because I noticed that this part of the triangular part here is always connected to the skull-shaped collar. Same thing here. These are just like little flaps. You could just draw them like this. You could draw them like a triangle like this, and then you could erase that. That's cool too. I've been drawing him so much that I already know what he looks like. I've been drawing him since 2022, like every fucking day. Arms. And his weird glove things, they kind of come out like this. I'm gonna draw this. It's like a pointed... Sorry if you guys hear anything in the background. My roommate is cooking. I don't do his hands right. I am so sorry if this looks awful, but... hands are hard. Any artist you ask, if you ask them what's the hardest part about drawing things, hands or face shapes, I'm sure they will say hands. Let's see here. You can kind of see his collar, or like a part of his outfit here, the hand gauntlet. I don't know what the hell these glove things are, but it's like it's kind of poking out a bit. This is not perfect. It doesn't look exactly like how it is on the screenshot, but it's the best for now for me trying to do this as best as I can to show a very quick tutorial on how I kind of like draw. His other finger, his thumb's not visible, but you know what? We're not gonna worry about that. So then you can see he has his outfit, which is kind of like a cloak. Goes down. It doesn't go down all the way to the floor, but it goes down enough to like cover his boot a bit. And it kind of has like an M shape there, and then it goes back up. We're just tracing over our initial sketch. That's all it is. And he has like a line like that that kind of looks like it's a button up. Little clown noses. I love him. I'm awesome. So yeah, we're just, well, the point of this part is to get the initial sketch down, make note of where everything goes, and a lot of the times I miss this, and I'm sure Viv's team started to as well at first, but he has little spikes on his back. There's like 3 of them. I think they kind of start from like the neck up here. It is pouring down rain right now. Good, it's been really warm these past few days. Let's see. I can kind of see the other side of his outfit there, kind of curls over. Oh yeah, that is a storm. Yeah. And it kind of curls back like that. So I'm just eyeballing what I see here. There's no tracing involved. There's just, you know, eyeballing what shapes are what and what pose he's in. Just trying to get the pose down. So that's that. Oh my god, I forgot his tail. So I'm assuming people know this, but his tail is it has markings on it. So you can just do like on your basics, you know, your base sketch here that I have, the original, the one that's visible. I'm just gonna go down there, and I'm gonna just draw the shape I think it is in. The basic shape, just a line and whatever. Same thing. Oh yeah, I started it right there. That looks really poopy. And then he has like little markings on his tail. And it's not visible here, but when you do draw him, he has like on his tail, well, I'll show you. On his tail, he has like a scar right here and here, kind of like coming down, and here you can't really see it well because it's like the way his positioning is, it's behind it. But he also has like 3 spikes there too that kind of like go down, face down the length of the tail. Just thought I'd point that out. But yeah, I'll add them here because that's where they are. Pay close attention to detail when you're drawing your character. It'll save your life. And that is a sketch of how I kind of draw and eyeball things and use shapes to my advantage. Hopefully this helps.